Welcome to Art, your favorite channel on YouTube. Today we are going to start a new segment, what we call the Fireside Chat. And today's topic is how to land on your first job as a fresh graduate moving on to new normal. Today we have one of our founders of Artcube, Anurag Noor. And Anurag, what is new normal? What does it mean?
Now, with the pandemic situation, we all talk about a new normal. Now, one of the specialities about the new normal is that we learn how to slow down things, including our lives, including education, including our jobs, the way we do things, and the way we react to the things. For example, now we realize that with the pandemic, we cannot actually accelerate things, rather we had to slow things down. So the new normal is not really getting rid of the pandemic situation, but rather try to live with it, because we don't see exact dates or years in which we will come out with a vaccine or something like that. So what people predict, what the scientists and the health industry predict, is that we rather have to learn how to live with the situation. So new normal is nothing but trying to learn with the new situation, and things are currently running at much slower speed as to the normal speed. But going forward, I think things become kind of very close to the normal situation. But those are lasting changes in our society.
Another, in your explanation, you mentioned that something called slowdown. So, is it something related to operations or processes or something else? Or are we doing everything much slower than what we used to be?
I don't think it's anything to do with processes or anything of that nature. It's true that during the pandemic situation that we had to sort of use different ways of achieving the things we used to achieve in the normal life. So some of the processes, for example, now if you are to visit a supermarket, for example, you cannot just rush to the supermarket. You have to adhere to the health guidelines. You need to wash your hands, wear the face mask, sanitize yourself, etc. So you have to have some sort of patience before you enter a bank or supermarket, something like that. So in way of life, that is kind of slow down. But more than that, it is actually slowing down the pace as humans we used to run. Like most of us used to sort of, with our busy lives, we used to live a life of very fast moving pace. Now, for example, if you take in the normal situation before the pandemic, we never realized that there is environment, there are animals, there are people who are sharing the resources, not only people but other animals, etc., sharing the planet Earth. We tend to think that we are the only living beings on the planet, and we sort of took everything for granted, and we never thought about not just animals but never thought about other human beings as well. So slowing down in the sense is I would rather take it more of a mental kind of thing, where we got a chance to think about in a very sort of slowed down manner as we used to do in the past, compared to the things in the past where we of course did not have a chance to think about us, think about our neighbors, think about people surrounding us. So with this, we tend to realize that there are things happening around us which we never realized in the past. So slowing down actually includes everything, not only us, but our processors, our thinking patterns, etc.
And I'll add something to what you have said right now. Actually, recently I heard that the air pollution has drastically reduced over the last few months. So that has done something good for Mother Nature, isn't it?
Yes, so when humans like us slow down, for example, in our day-to-day activities, the resultant is that the Mother Nature actually get the advantage, sort of Mother Nature gets an advantage to breathe freely, right? So yeah, you're correct. Like most of the satellite statistics and images show that the AI is getting cleaner, the oceans are getting clean, and most of the even wild animals we saw that they're actually coming out from the wild and moving very freely. So
And ozone layer also
Yes.
getting restored.
yes,
And one more thing, during this pandemic period, you heard that there was so many layoffs in the companies. And how do you think that will affect the job market or the industries in the near future?
now one of the things, like for example, when things were slowing down, it included education as well. Obviously, people still learn from homes, children, undergraduates, etc. So, but when we move to the new normal from the previous normal, we actually starting or reinitiating the things we actually stopped few months back. That includes higher education, college education as well. Now, as you correctly said, the next challenge for the undergraduates, once they pass out from the universities and the other higher education institutions, is actually to find their first job. How to land in your first job.
You came to the point. That is the main focus of this fireside chat. And my next question is, in traditional scenario, when the students pass out from their universities, they will go for job fairs, or the companies will come to the university and interview them, because in recent past, in several industries or in several disciplines, you could have found multiple job opportunities. But due to this pandemic situation, that market has shrunk. So, what challenges will they face when finding their first job?
Now, the challenge, the most, the top challenge for them is that they learn their higher education or their curriculum in a situation where the things were normal, as we call it. But when they pass out, unfortunately, the situation is quite different. Like when they were studying as undergraduates, there was no problem in the society. Like if you study this discipline, these are the avenues and these are the opportunities you have. We clearly saw that. But as you correctly said, with the new normal, everybody is finding it difficult. For example, companies, they fire people out from organizations, and they are financially also, they have different challenges. So even though there are jobs, right, the competition is fierce, because now suppose there have been like 100 job opportunities in the normal situation. Now you have probably like 25 jobs because everybody is now trying to cut down on resources and costs.
Okay, now you mentioned that earlier there were 100 opportunities, now there will be 25. So that means every fresh graduate who pass out from the universities will face a huge challenge to find a job. So think yourself as a fresh graduate. So what will you do to stand out from the rest? Can you give some tips?
Okay, now that 125 is just an example, but it could be real as well. Now, the challenge for me as a fresh graduate, let's take me as an example. Now, suppose you are the one who's interviewing me and you have 100 people coming for the interview and you're supposed to select 25 because now you have only opportunity available for 25. Now, if you take the basic qualifications, everybody, like if you ask for a bachelor's degree or a basic diploma, everybody will have them. So you're not going to select based on your basic qualification. Now you will have to look for additional qualifications, right, which will differentiate your 25 out of 100. So these additional qualifications include, for example, your undergraduate project, for example. If you have done an impactful project, which good if that project is relevant to the current situation, if you can do some process improvement, if you can sort of come out with a new product or a service, then of course it has a very higher likelihood in the market. And also you have, for example, if you have, in addition to your basic qualifications, suppose you have some additional qualifications like you have done a couple of certifications or something like that, then also you stand out from the rest. So these are some of the few tips that I can share with you. But given the situation, you may not have anything of that nature because this is a sudden situation you might have not foreseen. Like most of us have not foreseen this situation. So you might not done a good project, you might have not done relevant certifications, but you just have your basic qualifications. So best advice in that situation is not try to hurry yourself to get into a job, but I would rather say that you would take some little rest, little time, and try to build your qualifications within a small period of time. So if you haven't done a project, let's take 3 months time, or continue your project or do a new project. Or if you haven't done new good certifications, try to get a couple of certifications within a 3-month time and try to apply for new jobs. But it's kind of very difficult situation because the undergraduates who are actually looking for jobs in this new normal, who have done their homework in the past, who have done these things in the past, will eventually come to the top. But for others, I think they will have to sort of add these ingredients for them to at least be successful, not in the near future, but in the coming future, let's say in the next 3 to 6 months.
And does it mean that they have to slow down their career progression as well?
In a way, yes. It's not really, I would say, if you want to use a better word rather than slowing down, I would say that it is kind of investment on time and resources that they take in terms of their long-term career success. So I would say, rather than saying that we are slowing things down, I would say that you invest on time and resources to sort of build your capabilities so that you have a better success in, let's say, another 6 months time.
So you heard some interesting tips from Anuradha, and if you think that there are some more tips you want to share with the others, you can send our email and you can comment on our YouTube channel, and also we are available on social media. So take your time, get equipped and be ready for the